I should tell you about it. Maybe you know about it already. The rise of the number of suicides, the homicides, the murders, the crazy people, and those shambling things that came afterwards. I was there when we discovered the spores that started this whole mess. In the 1980s, an independent group of scientists, myself included, embarked on an expedition to Africa to search for a notorious, maddening substance only known to locals as wansin. Apparently, this substance was spread through beautiful bloom flowers, which were found around the area. When inhaled, the wansin spores caused madness or dementia in the natives. The effects vary, though, most of the time. They turn mad and seek a desire to murder others. I've seen them stab themselves with spears and sticks and such, bashing foreheads as they went. They inflicted wounds into themselves. Some injuries were enough to kill them naturally, but they kept moving. We studied a victim in a lab west of Kijuju, sealing him in a plate glass sealed room with one-way mirrors. We left him adequate food and water and sealed him inside. From him, we learned of the necrosis that was happening to his skin. First, the skin pales. In this case, the native turned his otherwise dark skin into a dry, cracked gray. Blotches start to form, and sores. Through weeks of isolation, we saw the skin turn into a gray, cracked husk. Greenish sores. He was blabbering on in Afrikaans. Days later, the man self-terminated. As he was being prepared for burial, we noticed that the corpse was twitching rapidly. It was too strange to be called necrotic twitching. It was as if the corpse still wanted to move. After a rapid succession of twitching, the corpse simply hung limp. So we attempted another experiment. Apparently that led me to my second discovery. The spores induce mutations in the body if the tissue damage is severe. Apparently the spores induce cellular reproduction in his bloodstream, creating cell after cell after cell after cell. By then we knew something was wrong. A heavily wounded man exhibiting the symptoms of the bloom spores started to grow an inhuman amount of muscle and tissue all around the injured parts of the body. We sedated him and placed him in an isolation room for study, and the results were astonishing. The wansin spores regenerated part of the wounded man's body with a red mass that gave a red pigmentation, deep red, to the person's skin. The infection showed signs of intense wendigo psychosis, an insatiable desire to feed on a human being's flesh. As the days passed by, I started to get weary and tired. I was also frightened. The other scientists were getting weary too. When the screaming started, we were onto our knees. The man just screamed his ears out. Screaming went on for days until we woke up, heard nothing, and saw a bullet hole in his chest. Reddish man just lay there. I asked Peters, our hunter, if he had done the euthanasia. No, he said. Angel grabbed my gun when I was sleeping. We saw Angel, the researcher, curled to a fetal position in the corner of the lab, gun in hand. She was sobbing and whispering. When we examined her for cuts and bruises, we saw a deep bite mark embedded in her arm. It bit me, it bit me, it bit me, it bit me. I can't believe it bit me, she whispered. I wanted to take a blood sample from him and he bit me. So I shot him. I shot him through the chest. That sick bastard, that sick bastard. We had taken every precaution not to get infected by the wansin agent, even to the point of sterilization. Angel was obviously harboring the stage 1 symptoms of the wansin complex. As we came closer to restrain her, she knew our intent and just shot herself in the chest. Not in the forehead, where the brain will slumber forever, but the chest. After that incident, we decided to get the hell out of there. We gave them proper burials, and we left Africa. Due to my colleagues' Native American ancestry, we decided to name the condition Wendigo Complex. But the thing was, that case was far, far from over. There was a final symptom discovered, and out of the 4, it was the worst. The necrotic twitching I spoke of before, it gets worse.